How you doing, everybody? Car lovers, Mustang lovers, Jim Morrison lovers. This is Jim Morrison Jr. Jim Morrison of the Doors is my father. And I just wanted to clear the air about what happened to his Mustang Shelby GT 500, because I know what happened to it. And I've been seeing, this witch hunt that everybody's on about my father's car. And it's quite simple what happened to it. And, I wasn't surprised when I heard what happened to it. And it didn't surprise me at all. As a matter of fact, it reminded me of me. So at any rate, I had no idea. I'm from Philadelphia, but I've been out to California and LA a few times because I was, doing some things with the Doors and whatnot, research and whatever, things I had to do through the years. But at any rate, so I stayed at that motel in Los Angeles, Santa Monica Boulevard plenty of times. It was a good dive. It was like going to a dive bar. It was a good dive motel. I had no idea my father stayed there. I had no idea they had a room dedicated to him that he stayed in. I had no idea. So I stayed there several times. And then the one time I was checking in about 2:30 in the morning, and I noticed that there was two pictures of my father in the office of the motel, and I asked the lady about it. And I said, "Well, that's my father." She said, "Really? That's your dad?" And whatever. So we got to talking, and we became friends. And I used to just drop in on it. She told me plenty of stories about my father through the years. But at any rate, so she said that he'd come home one night around 3 in the morning or whatever. She's seen him. She didn't hear his car, but she seen my father, and asked him, "Where's your car, Jim?" He said, I wrapped it around a telephone pole at Sunset Boulevard, and I just, I'm going to go get it in the morning or whatever, and let the tow trucks get it, and I'll go find the income. He didn't want to get in trouble for, being drinking it all, or whatever. So he left the car there. He wrapped it around the pole and left it there. He got out and left it. I'd done that a few times. I would wreck cars and left them. But at any rate, so she said a few days went by, and she hadn't heard nothing about it or whatever. So she asked me, "What's going on, Jim? Did you find your car or whatever?" And he said, "Yeah, well, I finally found it. He found what impound yard it was in. I don't know how many days it took him or whatever. However long it took him to get there." So he got there, and they wanted like $800 or something like that to get it out, and whatever it was. It's a lot of money, especially back then. Whatever it was. So my dad was like, it was a gift, and they only cost like $3,000 or $4,000, whatever. I'm not paying that. It's got to be fixed and everything. It's got to be wrapped around a pole. And if anybody knows anything about old cars with the heavy duty steel, not the stuff they're making cars out of nowadays, when you wrap it around a pole or a tree, I wrapped a couple around trees. They wrap around a tree, and that's the shape they take. So, by the time he had the car fixed, and he would have spent whatever. And my dad, he wasn't one to spend money if he didn't have to. So he took the $60 for the title or whatever it was, and gave him the car. And the thing is, you gotta understand, impound yards, even today, they don't care who you are. Okay, they want that car. And my father wasn't as famous then as he is now. 54 years after his death, but he's more famous now than he was then. So the thing is, he said, I didn't care whose car it was. He took the car, he crushed it, and he destroyed the title. And that's what happened. And he probably did it, the same day or the next day. But, they don't mess around. They get rid of that shit. And that's what happened. So there's no record of it because it was never a big deal for anybody. And the thing is, you're not going to find record of it because the titles get destroyed in those situations. And the cars get crushed. So that's what happened to the car. I hate to disappoint anybody, but that's the truth. And that's what happened. So, it came from a good source. Trust me. At any rate, just a little bit about myself. I go by the Doors Jr. or Jim Morrison Jr. and or Bullet Head is another one of my synonymous names. And anyway, I do music and poetry. Well, you look me up online. I've been, not the estate of my father, Jeff Jample, the manager, and everything, has not recognized me publicly yet. I mean, it's public information who I am, whatever, but I'm being held back because they're not publicly recognizing me because they're afraid that the estate could be in jeopardy if I was proven to be the heir, which I am. And the thing is, my aunt and uncle, the estate won't give up DNA for comparison. So the DNA's out. I'm his kid. His kid. There's other ways it was proven already or whatever. So the thing is, it doesn't even matter. I'm his kid. So it's public information. But the thing is, again, so I'm doing the Doors Jr. I'm re-recording the Doors music. I'm leaving the music alone, and I just take my dad's vocals out or whatever. And I rewrite the Doors songs. And I have my own music and poetry as well. You can look me up under the Doors Jr. or Jim Morrison Jr. I got plenty of work of my own. I'm an established poet and an established songwriter and recording artist. But the thing is, I'm not getting the recognition I deserve because of the fact that I'm haunted with the fact that I am Jim Morrison's kid. It's not fun. I've lost everything in the process. I'm living in a VA. I'm a disabled combat veteran. On top of everything else, I'm living in a VA because I lost everything. My income, everything. I lost everything. I came out here to California to do this, to prove my paternity and take the Doors, take control of the Doors, my portion of what's mine, and be able to have rights to the Doors music and do what I want to. And I lost everything, and now no one's helping me. It's like they used to. They were helping me in the beginning, and then when they found out I really was a kid, they shut the door on me. Primary Wave, they were helping me, but they shut the door on me. So the Jeff Jampo, the management, everything, they shut the door on me because they don't want to jeopardize the estate. At any rate, so that's what happened to my father's car. Please look me up. Be supportive of me, please, people. And I hope to talk to you soon. Bye.